My name's CJ Weaver. I'm an airman in the South Dakota Air National Guard and a volunteer here in the Sioux Empire. Most of what I do is connecting with other veterans that have been deployed or that are pipeline like me that have just gone through basic and tech school. Since I've been volunteering and becoming more involved in the veteran community, I've noticed this growing trend of suicide rates. Every day, 22 American veterans commit suicide. For me personally, I needed to find an answer to why this rate is happening. Why is it that veterans feel the need to take their lives as soon as they come home? What I have found is that there is a community formed in service, and veterans need this community when they get home. They still need this brotherhood. That is why I've created this project. This project is a series of interviews that I have conducted with different veterans from around the Sioux Empire, just telling about their experiences and their beliefs that veterans need to be with other veterans. For a lot of service members, basic or boot camp is the first time that there's really a camaraderie felt in their life, and that's the thing that a lot of people do not understand. Service is about the family that surrounds you, and that's where a lot of people are lost when they get home. So it's important to remember where this camaraderie starts, and that is with basic training.
Camaraderie, major, big time camaraderie. That's the highest, best thing about me in general.
You know, I had many guys above me that were in my squadron that had, 15, 20 plus years experience that I really learned from and mentored me. I mean, they made me the airman that I was, and I thought I was really good. I really loved my job. I loved the people I worked with. Some of them were more family than my own actual family. And that in itself, even being out now, I still talk to a lot of them, and I still consider a lot of them family. They were at my wedding, they were everything. So that honestly is probably the highest point. Getting to play with the aircraft and doing $1 million stuff, that's pretty cool too, but it's the people that make it.
Ever since I was a little kid, I didn't want to do anything but be in the military. I mean, for Halloween, I would dress up as an army man. It's all I ever wanted to do. So when I put that uniform on every day, I felt that was one of the best days of my life. Just being in that uniform and being something, making the ranks, moving up through rank, the camaraderie that I have with my brothers and my sisters in the uniform. It was just an overall outstanding experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Once you get into the routine and you get to know people and you know what's going on and you know the processes, the job becomes fun. It gets to be fun going to the field. Going out, getting dirty, being out there. Those are the fun times. That's where the brotherhood is built. And then in the off times, going out and being stupid. Going down to drinking and partying with the guys, and then that's the fun part of it, is being with those guys all the time. I mean, you may hate somebody in your platoon and want to beat the hell out of them, but I'll be damned if anybody else is going to mess with them. And that's what makes the whole thing work.
Despite all of the memories and the good times that members have in service, there is still this sense of loss and aloneness when they get home. While deployed, veterans are 41% more at risk of committing suicide than the average American. Yet, when they get on American soil, back home with their families and friends, they are 61% more likely to commit suicide.
For me, I isolated is what I did. Is I kind of buried it. If somebody, I tried to talk to people about it. I was in the Marines. I just got out of the Marines, and nobody gave a crap. Nobody cared. And it's like, okay, bury it. Nobody wants to hear the old war stories. And I know Like even my mom, she's like, my mother said, you act like everybody owes you something. I didn't feel that way. I was just trying to figure out how it worked out in the real world. I mean, everybody's going a billion different directions. What the hell are they doing? Why is this stupid crap important? I didn't understand it. And it just became easier to just cut it off, fake it till you make it. And for a long time, I didn't give two shits about much of anything. I would happily get in a fight. I would happily go drink with some guys that I knew that in the Navy, Army. Just kind of stuck in my own little shell. I didn't socialize with a lot of people. I didn't do a lot of things. And prior to that, I lived by what I would call the half-inch rule. During Desert Storm, we were crossing a minefield, and we were in Humvees, and they were blowing a breach to the west of us. And when they blew that breach, they set off chemical mines. We know this because we had chemical detection tape up in our vehicles, and all that stuff changed colors, indicating that they had detonated chemical mines. Well, you're jammed in these Humvees. We're in a 4-person Humvee, and I was sitting right behind the driver, and it was Parrish Dunning, our commo, Wire Kid, and me as the radio operator in this communications vehicle. That you're in full mock gear. To even get into the vehicle, you got to shove half your crap underneath you and sit on it. So we're all sitting on our gas masks, and this shit goes off. Well, the only way to get your gear on is to bail out of the damn vehicle. So we bailed out of the vehicle, and I landed and pulled my gas mask around and right between my feet was an anti-tank mine. And if I had gone half an inch either direction when I landed, I'd have hit the top plate of that, killed all of us, killed half the guys in the 5-ton in front of us, killed a bunch of the guys behind us. And I jumped straight up and backwards in the midair, putting my gas mask on, get in and start punching Parrish in the back of the head. He's like, what the hell? Mine! So we make a little flag and flag the mine out the window of the Humvee. But when we got home, we got a 96, a 4-day off. Parrish jumped in his truck. This guy who drove us through hellfire jumped in his truck, drove back to Texas, saw his folks, and was coming back out with a friend of ours' sister. One of the guys in Toons from Texas, his sister was riding back out with him, and she was driving. And she fell asleep at the wheel. And he got ejected, and his truck rolled over and killed him. So this guy that drove us through hellfire came home and died at highway statistic. Half an inch, we'd all died heroes. We'd have come home to full, massive funerals and all this shit, and he dies the highway statistic.
PTSD was unknowingly controlling my life. I just existed. All I did was, I was a squared away Marine.
Thing, because I actually had an officer, she enlisted me, really good friend. She was kind of a mentor throughout my entire enlistment, and when we came back, she wasn't able to handle the transition.
Losing a brother in arms is very difficult, no matter how close you were to him. My brother, Alex Johnson, had died on August 20th, 2014, right after I got back.
I was out of the military. I didn't have any kind of brotherhood, and I'd locked myself in my room, and I was fumbling around with the pistol, and my uncle knocked on the door, and I guess he could tell there was something wrong. I don't know, but I didn't really answer. He knocked the door down, and they got the pistol away from me, and after thinking about it, you know, it was, he saved my life right then and there, because I was gonna take my life. I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to face being a civilian. I didn't want to face not having the Army, the camaraderie. I didn't want to face any of that kind of stuff anymore. I just want to, you know, the pain from my back injury that ruined my career was just overwhelming, and the doctors weren't doing anything for the pain, so I wanted to end it. And he found me and saved my life, so.
September 11th was a tragic day. Our nation come together in a different type of way. And as we sat and watched the news, I saw the people crying for the lost and the confused. And as we pulled out to go to war, I heard a soldier saying in one big roar, 'cause I thank God for this country, for the flag that we fly high.
One of the things that kind of changed it for me was I had kids. Well, kids became important. I got to stick around and take care of the kids and raise kids.
Lately, it's mostly just been my dog, honestly. In the last couple of weeks, when my depression's been kicking in real bad, I think my dog can tell, and she's been coming downstairs, keeping me company.
Jackson, I came across Jackson in Korea, and when I was stationed over there, and I was struggling with PTSD. I hadn't been diagnosed with it yet, but I knew there was something wrong with me, and I just wasn't seeking the help. But I found this little puppy in the store, and I went in every day, and I would play with this little puppy, and I'd ask the guy how much he wanted for the dog, and he would always give me this astronomical number, like $2,500, and I'd tell him he was smoking crack, and there's no way I'm paying that much for a dog. Well, this went on for 6 months, and I mean, this was every day I go in the Ville and play with the dog. And then one day I asked him, I was like, man, how much you want for the dog? And he was like, $200. I was like, fine, tomorrow's payday, I'll be in tomorrow with the money. Well, I went back the next day and the dog was gone. And I was like, where's the dog? And he's like, well, we take him to put him down. And I'm like, oh man, I'll give you an extra $50 if you bring the dog back. So I gave him an extra $50 and he brought the dog back. And having Jackson gave me a reason a purpose to live, per se. I had a purpose. I was going home to something every day that showed me unconditional love. And Jackson has been by my side ever since. I mean, now he's going through Big Paws here and learning to be a PTSD service dog. But before that, he saved my life literally. I mean, I saved his and he saved mine, because I don't know where I would have been if it wasn't for him. So that dog is a big part of my life.
I met Lee, I guess it's going on 6 years ago. There wasn't a chapter in Sioux Falls yet, and there was Lee, Gunner, and Longtall were prospecting in Sioux City. And I met him at a Patriot Guard Raider meeting, or a mission. And he spotted my hat, came over and asked if I'd been with the Marines. And we talked a little bit, and then by the time I got home, I couldn't remember his name, where he said he lived, and it took me 5 years to get back with these guys. So about, I guess it's 2 years ago, in July, there was a funeral for a Marine down at Yankton. And the ride captain told me that there was Marines from Sioux Falls coming down, so I got all fired up, and sure enough, it was Lee and Smoke Break and Squirrel. The Squirrel was still hanging around. Latched down to them, showed up, I think bike night was the next Friday, showed up for that, showed up for church, and I've been here ever since. Just from the start, these guys, I knew they were my brothers. It's where I was supposed to be, it's what I'm supposed to be doing. We have great time when we're together. We're involved in some things that we think are really important, and we would do anything for each other. And, you know, when we call each other brother, we mean it. I can't think of any group of people I'd rather be with, and it's a large family. Our wives, our girlfriends, our kids, you know, we're all involved in it. And if my brother needs something and I've got it, he's got it. If his wife needs it, if his kids need it, we're there for each other. I know they do the same for me. It's one of the best things we do. Besides that, we all love our sites.
I've been deployed 3 times, and my first deployment, I think I took like 3 weeks off, and I thought that was too long. And then my second deployment, I took like 5 days off, and I went right back to work. And then my third one, I took like 3 months off, and I don't know, each one it seemed like it either was too much time or not enough time, but I think really just taking some time to have some alone time, to figure your life out again, is really important. I don't recommend only taking 5 days off. Definitely probably a couple weeks, and I think the military is pretty good about paying you for a few weeks when you're done with your deployments, so that you do have time to adjust.
I think I would tell any veteran coming back with any kind of issues, whether it be financial, because it has to be based on what they're doing and why they're doing it, and if it's right or wrong, or spirituality, or the ability to have friends and coexist. I guess simplify it. If they think that there's anything that's awry, that's not the norm, if they don't feel like they fit, seek somebody that can help you or guide you toward somebody, because it's a proven fact, the longer you wait to address these issues, the harder it is to get back. Like me, it's been too many years, and even my therapist has said if they would offer what they're offering now to people, it would be different, and they could help a lot more.
It sucks. It really does. The pain heals, but don't let the pain drag you down. As much as hard as it is to not reminisce in the past with memories, you still gotta march on.
And the thing that takes me off now is realizing that there's help out there, and it took me 3 years to find out. I am just now learning about VA. I am just now realizing that there is help. Nobody told me about that when I was in. When I was coming back, nobody said anything. You bottle it up, you bury it, and you go on to the next day, and you get the mission done. And that needs to stop. It really does, because everybody, doesn't matter what job they were doing, everybody is affected. Some are affected differently, but all of us, for the most part, don't know how to handle it. And nobody told us we were never trained on how to handle it. So it's out there. I just wish someone would have told me it years ago. If someone would have said something back then, maybe my friend would be here. So.
Because of your willingness to die. 'Cause I thank God for this country, for the flag that we fly. I pledge allegiance to this soldiers and for your willingness to fight. And I thank you for this freedom that we hold so dear. I thank God for your brother and may He take away all your tears. And we thank you. And we thank you. And the
So, knowing what you know now, would you do it again?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. It has provided me a lot because of them. I do have a college education. I have a sense of self-worth. Just different things that people typically don't get to experience. And me being a female, I do have a lot of mechanical know-how and everything like that. Most women don't have that. I'm pretty self-sufficient, and a lot of that has to do with the military.
In a heartbeat.
I would, but the thing that I would do different is as soon as I got out of course school, I was pushed to go to field med school. And if I could have spent my whole career with the Marines, I'd have done that.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Those years that I spent in the military and the bonds that I made will never be broken. And the experiences that I have, and now I have a great support group and a great support system. No, I would definitely do it all over again. I love the Army, and I think that everybody should have the chance to serve.
Absolutely. The experience you get from the military, I mean, getting out and being in the civilian world sucks. But I've been around the world. I've been halfway each direction.
Absolutely. The Army's been probably one of my biggest accomplishments in my life, and when I first joined I thought, I'm doing my 6 years and getting out, and now I can't even imagine being out. Yeah, there's hard times and there's things I don't like, and but just that family you have in the military and all the opportunities it provides, paying for education, traveling, all the benefits, and just this sense of accomplishment that you get with being in and getting promoted and having different jobs. Yeah, I would do it all over again, definitely.
Yes, but I would want to be better informed. I always use the same definition and the same verbiage. I, at 18 years old, followed the norms, morals, and values of a good father that came from Korea. He brought them from his father from World War II. And I just raised my hand and said hooray for the red, white, and blue, motherhood, and apple pie, and followed what I considered to be the norm. Now, would I fight for my country again? In a heartbeat. But I'd have to be a lot more informed.
With everything you've experienced so far, do you regret military at all?
Not a single day in my life. I would do it all over again if I had the choice. For all the ups, downs, adrenaline rushes, and heartaches, it's all worth it.
If you or a loved one is struggling with PTSD, depression, or suicidal thoughts from military service, please find help. There's so many options out there for you. Veterans need to find other veterans.
And as we sat and watched the news, I saw the people crying for the lost and the confused. And as we pulled out to go to war, I heard a soldier saying in one big roar, 'cause I thank God for this country, for the flag that we fly high. pledge allegiance to your soldiers and feel willingness to fight. And I thank you for